Hey, what's up, you guys? Back to you with another edition of NFL Football Talk. And I'm bringing to you no other than Detroit Lions' very own Marvin Jones. Now, Marvin Jones, we're going to talk a little bit about him today because, as you know, I have been going on different Lions and just talking about what they mean and how they've been an asset to the team. Now, basically, I want to talk a little bit about Marvin Jones, who came to the Detroit Lions from the Cincinnati Bengals about 2 years ago, who was basically a replacement for Calvin Johnson. Now, we know that you can't replace a guy like Megatron, Calvin Johnson, and what Megatron was able to do with the Lions when he was a part of the team. But Marvin Jones has been able to hold his own. He's not Calvin Johnson by any other stretch of the imagination. He's Marvin Jones. And one thing I can say about Marvin Jones is he's a pretty good receiver. He's a pretty solid receiver. One thing he has been known for since he's been on Detroit is being a deep threat. Marvin Jones is a slender 6'2" frame, and he uses it pretty well, man. And he's made some vast improvements. Last year, Marvin Jones was he started out the season really, really well. And then towards the middle and the end of the season, he wasn't doing as hot as he started the season, man. He was doing so well within the first couple weeks of the season, man, that they thought he was on the track to do some phenomenal numbers. But he ended up catching 55 passes for 930 yards, which we did think last year that he would be a 1,000-yard receiver that prior year. But this season, the season that just passed, he eclipsed that, and he was able to catch 61 passes for 1,100 yards. So Marvin Jones has definitely been catching for some phenomenal balls from Matthew Stafford, and he's been a great acquisition to the team. No, he's not Megatron, but he's definitely filled the shoes in by doing what he can to help the team. And it's kind of hard to put that on a receiver, as far as saying that receiver is going to be like Calvin Johnson, because Calvin Johnson is like a once in a lifetime player, like a Barry Sanders or a guy like that, a Randy Moss type of guy. Those guys don't come around that often, guys that can dominate from their position. But one thing I can say about Marvin Jones is I definitely like him. I like how he's able to just stretch the field. He's been known as a deep threat and a deep target for the Detroit Lions. And he catches a lot of deep passes for the Detroit Lions. And I'm glad to have him a part of the Detroit Lions, that he decided to come over to this team. He could have went to other teams, but he decided to come to the Lions. And we have been utilizing him in the right way. Now, if we can utilize Marvin Jones the way we've been using him, and then also use Kenny Galladay in the same type of fashion, man, the skies is the limit for the Detroit Lions. The Lions have the team. They have the receiving group and the guys that can put it together and can catch passes. Golden Tate is pretty decent catching balls, and as well as Marvin Jones and Kenny Galladay. Now, if you can get all three of these guys to basically get 1,000-yard season, man, that would be like a tremendous thing to happen, man. But we'll see how it plays out this season. I'm definitely pulling for Marvin Jones to put up some good numbers like he did last year. I hate that we got to play the Green Bay Packers the last game in the cold. I'd rather for it to be here than rather play the Green Bay Packers early in the season and not late, because it gets cold out there, man. So, man, definitely, man, I'm rooting for Marvin Jones to have another great season with the Detroit Lions. I'm gonna put him up to at least a good season for him would be if he can catch 70 passes and 11 to 1,200 yards receiving. That would be excellent for Marvin Jones to be able to do that. So you guys, let me know in the comment section, what do you think about Marvin Jones, and how do you think that he'll do this season, and will he be able to eclipse have a back-to-back 1,000-yard season with the Detroit Lions? I'm definitely liking his vast improvements. He improved from the year prior to catching 55 balls in the first season with us for 930 yards, and then coming back in the second season and second year and having a great season with us. So I'm definitely digging Marvin Jones, man, being a part of this Detroit Lions, man. We got a good receiving group, and we just need these guys to grow and get better so that we can be pretty much unstoppable this season, man. I definitely, man, want the Lions to win. I'm rooting for these guys to win. And Marvin Jones is a great asset to the Detroit Lions. And I like that he's able to catch the deep ball. And sometimes he's catching passes that kind of wow you at times as well. So looking for Marvin Jones to have another great year, you guys, and to eclipse what he did last season by catching 61 passes for 1,100 yards. And this year, possibly doing better numbers than that. So, all right, you guys, as always, thank you for subscribing. Hit the like button for your boy. And I appreciate you guys for watching Noble Creation TV. As always, thanks for your viewership. And subscribe to Noble Creation TV. We coming.